the most important part of the afternoon.
Yeah.
How to start with something like this? There's a lot. It's an evolution. It's a combination of different things. But years ago, when Laura and I were probably newlyweds, early married, we always had a budget. It was feasible, and when kids came along, we still had a budget, and but at a point we noticed that it was kind of hard to make ends meet, and we were committed to Laura staying home with the kids. So it was, had been a single income family for a really long time. But at some point it's like, there's not, we get to the end of the month and we're short. But when you look at the budget, the budget makes sense. Why don't we have money? So I was challenged at one point to look at by tithing, and it's kind of, I guess maybe it was kind of touchy at the point, but I went ahead, I looked at it, and I discovered that I was giving like 8.5% out of 10%. So I adjusted up, thinking that was counterintuitive. It's like we're already short money, now we're going to give away more money. But as soon as I did that, it's like now we met budget. We just started meeting budget, and it was like, wow, that's really interesting. So I've been a real stickler for many years about a full tithe. So fast forward to like 2002, I found myself, the economy's going south. They were talking about layoffs at the company I was working for. And then they were saying, our manager was saying, we're actually going to have to let a couple people in this group go. I was like, well, whatever. And then one day, I said, I should probably start praying about this. So literally, I'm thinking in my head, as I'm praying, this is what I'm going to say, is like, God, protect my job. And he just cut me off. He says, don't pray that I protect your job, pray that I continue to provide for you. And I knew that something was up. So a couple days later, come to find out that, I'm the one getting axed. And I was like totally fine with it, because it's like, I had a heads up. I knew God was up to something, and because I'd gotten to know him well enough that I really wasn't terribly concerned about it, because it's like it's part of his plan. This is what he's going to do. So I just kind of laid back and just let things play out, and just try not to worry about stuff. Although that's not always easy when you don't have any money coming in and you still have bills to pay. God just came through so many different times in so many different ways. People just give us money. I worked nickel and dime jobs just to make, have some sort of income, and still tithed off of that, tithed off my unemployment checks. It's very important to me to tithe, and to give a full tithe still, even when you don't have any money. We were living off of whatever was left from our 401ks, which they were bleeding funds anyway. Got down to literally had like $600 in the bank, and a job came up on the other side of the country. It was just like, the interview didn't go well. I didn't think, but I got a call back a couple of days later saying, they liked you, and they want you to come out and interview. So yeah, good timing, but it was just, this is just God's provision. It was very obvious it was God's provision. He took us right up to the very end. He says, he told me very specifically, very plainly, he says, you can try to fix this yourself, or you can let me do it. I mean, he gave me a choice. Let me do it. He's a big God. Or, you can try to do it yourself. And I was smart enough at that time to say, I'm going to let you do it. It was a real struggle a lot of times. We're talking over 3 years, and life continues, but it's like you have zero to very little income. And it's like, how do you manage that? It was amazing. It was, living on the bleeding edge, from week to week. It's just getting your bills paid. And it was like, give us this day our daily bread. It was serious. It was just the coolest thing. And God is faithful.
We have only one life, and it soon will pass. And only what's done for Christ will last. Jesus, you can use me.